G'day, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much to my subscribers. The channel is slowly growing. We've had over 3,000 views now, so thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, consider that and consider liking the video if you enjoy it. So today we're going to chew the Mitchell's wool fat. Let's chew the fat on this product. Now this product comes highly rated on the forums, and I tried it many times and I don't like it, and I'm going to discuss why I don't like it and what the properties are, and maybe try it again and see what I'm doing right or what I'm doing wrong. So it comes in this package. It smells really nice. I like the smell. It's a traditional soap smell, so it's beautiful, but the performance is not there for me. So I've done a little bit of investigation, and my suspicion is because it contains a high amount of lanolin, which is wool fat. And wool fat is a waxy substance that provides a barrier protection for the sheep, so and water resistance for its wool. And it has tremendous properties. It's similar to the oils that are on our skin, so it has a conditioning effect. So what I've done is I've repeated the experiment that I did yesterday, but today I've really soaked and bloomed this soap. So I've left it in here for a couple of hours now. I put the same amount in as yesterday, and just pouring out the water. And so now I've got a really super bloomed soap. So I'm putting all my expertise, what little I have, with my 30 years of cookery experience, and as well as doing soap making courses and things like that. So yeah, we're gonna try to lather this. I'm gonna pause the video and come back and let's see how I go, because this is schizophrenic, this, and I'm really gonna work it up just with a Yakimoka brush, and let's see how I go. Okay, so I've just wet the face and worked up a lather. There was a lot of more moisture in the soap because I let it bloom for quite a long period of time. And so I used a dry brush rather than a wet brush or a damp brush for this particular lather like a boss, which is what I did on the other video. So yesterday I used a damp brush, but I didn't let it bloom as long. And this is a result of what I've got. Now, it certainly looks fairly good. It smells great. Like I like this soapy, fresh smell. It's reminiscent of my childhood as well, using traditional soaps. Now, what I think is happening here is that you have lanolin, which doesn't saponify very well because it's a waxy-like substance. It doesn't have any triglycerides in it apparently. So you're putting a wax with a soap, and when I was pressing it into the bowl, I noticed that it was extremely greasy, and that greasiness is acting as a competitor for the slickness of the soap. And you can see that it produces like this foamy, it seems weak. And let's just have a feel for it, and the lather does dissipate. So I used just over 1.5, 2 grams, and again, this stuff is not good. Yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to try, all the different experiments, the different methods. I've tried a puck lather with it. I've done different lathering methods, and somehow this is really popular with gents. I got a comment at one of the guys who said that on the channel, thank you so much for the comment, who said it was this is his favorite soap, and he has 10 pucks in reserve because he loves it, and he's tried over 200 soaps, and this is his favorite soap. And I'm slaughtering that holy cow right here and now, and saying, I've used a lot of soaps as well over many years, and this is probably the most overrated soap that's hyped on forums, and I think its performance is really lacking. I mean, I would never steer someone to buy Mitchell's wool fat. Buy Arco. You know, don't like the smell. It's a terrible smell, but performance is off the charts. And for me, you've got to think about it. Performance has got to be the definitive marker for any soap or cream that you use. I mean, the scent is one thing, and its properties are another, but the performance is everything. So let's lather up now. And again, the smell, it's really there. I like that. It's just a soap smell. It's nothing remarkable. It's actually, let me smell this. It smells like Coles bath soap. So it smells like a really cheap soap. I mean, Coles bath soap, I think it's like $1.50 for 8 pieces. And it just smells like a cheap, really cheap budget soap. And you can see it has this, even though I've done a lather on it, it has this waxy quality to it. And I'll add more water to this on my face. Yeah, it's a waxiness. That's exactly what it is. So you can certainly get it, like a lot of people find it hard to lather, and you can certainly get it to lather. But again, you've got this waxy-like quality to it, and it ain't slick. So I'm using the Gamechanger, which I've been really enjoying. This Gamechanger is it's a 0.68 mil blade gap, and it's got an Astra blade, and this is a 3rd shave on it. So I've actually changed camera angles, and I'm using a different method to record today, so hopefully it will come up a treat. Let's give it a try. So the wool fat, definitely it's working, and definitely I have some, again, I wouldn't call it slickness, I'd call it a waxiness. And that's from the lanolin for sure. And some people have allergies to lanolin. It's a small percentage, but you've got to remember that before we had different technologies in terms of skincare and our understanding of skincare, natural products like lanolin, which came from sheep and wool, were highly popular back in the day. And lanolin is still being used in the cosmetics industry. But where it came into its fore was for chafed lips and mastitis. When women had inflammation on their nipples, lanolin was advocated. But now with pregnancy, not so much, I think, because if ingested, it can produce toxic effects for some people. So definitely not to be ingested. And again, you know, I've added as little water as possible. to get this thing to be able to work it up in a lather using that using the best methodology that I think is possible. For me, it has an extremely different skin feel to any other lather that I've used because of that waxy characteristic. So the feeling on the skin is like it kind of sits on the skin rather than, you know, really I don't know, it's a different feeling. And one of the things that they advocate, if this stuff doesn't wash out, is to use vinegar. To remove that waxiness. So it's certainly protecting. And I think the longer you leave it on the skin, the more it will have a chance to embed itself. This is one of the reasons why I'm working it into the skin the way I am, so I can maximize the properties that that I've read about. Apply a little bit drier, so maybe some of that lanolin can penetrate into the skin. But I just feel it's competing, the lanolin versus the saponification of a soap. That's awesome. This razor and this blade is awesome. Yeah, that's... I mean, look at that shave already. This Gamechanger with the Astra blade, it smashes the hair. I've got 22 hours of growth, and the regrowth factor. Okay, there is much more residual slickness today, or that waxiness left on my skin by using this method. Okay, this is probably the best method for using the soap. So I can tell you that it requires a special treatment, and to let it bloom is extremely important, and to work it into the skin. And personally, I think letting the soap rest with hydration is important. So for me, I would work this into a lather, let it sit there for 5 to 10 minutes. So you bloom the soap, work it into the lather, let it sit and allow, you know, everything to absorb and hydrate. Like I said, when you put flour into, you're making a crepe batter, it's to make the ideal crepe batter. You've got to let that rest overnight in the fridge so that the flour has a chance to absorb the milk and the liquid into the flour. So definitely, this to me has that characteristic because of the lanolin, that it really takes time for the properties, this waxy property, to have an effect. But again, it's not a slickness. It's more of a waxiness. Yeah, it's definitely a waxiness. There's no doubt. And it's competing with the soap. So for me, because it's not what I'm used to, it's bizarre. It feels so schizophrenic. So we're gonna call it something else. Resting the lather. That's what we're gonna have to describe the Mitchell's wool fat. Is you bloom it, you lather it, and you rest the lather so it can really hydrate to get that kind of property. But again, I'm not calling that slick. Yeah. Beautiful. This really works a treat. So I just really need to pee. I'm just gonna pause. Okay, I'm back. Just quickly re-moisten that. So you can see by blooming and resting the lather, it definitely can produce a lather. It's just not slick and cushioning for me. Yeah. This is terrific, this Gamechanger. I mean, that's BBS now. They're beautiful. See if I can. Let's feel for the stubborn area. A little bit there. Okay, we're done here. I credit the good shave today to that razor, the Gamechanger. I mean, that is just phenomenal shave, phenomenal. So I don't like the wool fat. I don't like it. Now some gents will like that, and they've used lots of soaps. For me, I think it's a sacred cow, and that needs to be slaughtered. You know, my skin is squeaky. So yeah, Mitchell's wool fat is not for me. That lanolin is waxy, and it's a waxiness that's not slick for me. I mean, post shave it does feel okay, but if you're using a good balm and hyaluronic acid, that is 100% superior. I just put some hyaluronic, and now I'm just using the Pro Raso green tea and oat for a shave that is absolutely superb. No thanks to the Mitchell's wool fat. So Mitchell's wool fat for me, it's a thumbs down. I wouldn't advocate it. I'm just going to use a little bit of eau sauvage. Oh, amazing. Let's dry it and come back in like 30 seconds after this is dried off so I can show you how good this shave is. Okay, I've come back. So this is just a phenomenal shave, people, with the Gamechanger. So I really like this this razor. This unreservedly is a decent razor for the money. And the reason why I like it, and the reason why I said on my review video, this is a really great razor, as opposed to the Mueller R89 and the other ones that I enjoy, the mild razors that I enjoy, because it's stainless steel and it's CNC manufactured. So this will last forever. You know, you can take care of it and pass it down to your children, your grandchildren, their grandchildren, their grandchildren. This will last, you know, forever if you take good care of it and you clean it. So that stainless steel marine grade steel is phenomenal value, and the longevity is just incredible. So the Gamechanger definitely gets a thumbs up. Mitchell's wool fat, 2 thumbs down. I don't like it. Some guys like it because of that waxy quality to it. For me, I need slickness. I have coarse stubble. It doesn't respond well to me. It's just waxy and it's not slick. I mean, it has that pseudo slickness which feels, you know, but it's just not there. So I don't know why it's so famous, but that thing needs to die as far as I'm concerned. You know, that ethereal, you know, quality that people claim that it has is just not there. So I think just people get caught up in the mindset that something's really slick, and maybe their facial stubble isn't as thick as mine. So that stuff just, it doesn't work for sensitive skin with coarse stubble for me. Whilst the Arco works a treat. That stuff has ederdronic acid in it, and you don't have to let it rest. You can just put it on the face, work it in, and it softens everything up and allows you to shave really easily. So for me, you know, one of the things that I like to do is I like to look for for the people that are the best at something. You know, have a look at the variety of you know, the best products, the best technique, the more skilled people. They're the people that I want to observe. And so with Turkish beards, I think they have some of the coarsest, toughest stubbles, and so I'm going to look at what they're doing and refine their techniques. That's what I want to learn for lathering. And so for sharpening knives, who has the best technology for that? I think it's Japanese. So I want to learn off the Japanese how to sharpen my knives, you know, what kind of steel goes into the knife, and why you know, they put so much thought into what they're doing. So for me, yeah, I hate the Mitchell's wool fat. I hate it. It's fickle and it's not good. So that's my verdict. You know, I wouldn't waste the money ever again, and I would never recommend it to anyone. So you got the good and the bad. The sacred cow. I'm taking a katana to it, and I'm slaughtering that. Anyway, that's my final thoughts on Mitchell's wool fat. Waste of money. So.